there, that is Nico. That is our 8-year-old male. And do we have any 8-year-old humans out in the audience today? Okay, I see a couple of hands. I like to point that out because 8-year-old humans and 8-year-old sea lions like Nico have something in common, your attention span. So our shows tend to be between 5 and 10 minutes long because that is about as long as Nico here can pay attention and also a good chunk of our audience. So stage left here, the smaller sea lion. This is Poppy, one of our 2 female sea lions. Now the type of training we do here, this is called operant conditioning with positive reinforcement. Did you all get that? Because there'll be a quiz at the end. What that means is the zookeepers will ask for a behavior, and when the sea lion does that behavior, they'll get a reward. Can you see what kind of reward they're getting for their buckets? Fish, yep, exactly. So what was the sound you just made when Poppy gave her zookeeper a kiss? Aww. So that is the purpose behind our training. So sea lions are able to walk around on all 4 flippers. They can even go in reverse. To me, a sea lion honestly even looks kind of like a bear wearing a onesie that's a size too small. Seals, on the other hand, have much shorter flippers, and they use their hind flippers to propel themselves. So they'll move, as Nico is demonstrating, using a method of locomotion I like to call flooping, but the scientific term for that is galumphing. True story, it's been used in scientific papers. Who says science isn't fun? Now, there are a couple components to this training. The zookeepers will ask them to do behavior by giving them a cue. Now, this is a behavior called porpoising, and so that is a natural behavior they might do in the wild to evade predators. What kind of predators do you think seals and sea lions might have? Sharks, orcas. Now you probably noticed as they do each behavior, there's a clicking sound that happens. That click is what we call a bridge. So we'll time it so that they hear the click as soon as they have done the behavior we've asked them to do. So they know that's it, they've done it, and a reward is on the way. Because sometimes you just can't get a fish fast enough out of the bucket for a hungry sea lion. And then that reward, that fish, makes it more likely that they'll do that behavior again in the future when asked. So has anybody here ever cleaned your room in exchange for an allowance? That is also operant conditioning. So parents, I hope you're taking notes. It works on kids. Now Nico is working with a target. Now we are able to use this training with just about all of our animals, from the Galapagos tortoise all the way up to the giraffes. And approaching a target is one of the first behaviors any animal will learn, because we can then use that target to shape all of their other behaviors. So once they learn that if they come up and touch the target with their nose, they will get a reward, we can then use that to shape all of their other behaviors. And as they get better at those behaviors, we'll use those targets less and less until they're more like Poppy and just doing the behaviors without a target. So I mentioned some of the behaviors are husbandry behaviors. Anybody out in the audience ever go in for a checkup? Yeah, once or twice a year you have to go see your vet? Okay. So let's hear a round of applause for this. Now, I thought the moment you all sat down and looked on stage and saw that hoop sitting, hanging there, you were hoping someone was going to jump through it. Now, we don't quite do the same behaviors in every show. We do this training 3 times a day. Twice a day if they choose to participate in the Sparky show, and then once before we open. And if we did the same behaviors in every training session, it'd get kind of boring for them. So another reason we do this training is to help them engage their problem-solving skills. So work on the same kind of behaviors they need to survive in the wild. And to help keep them, mentally occupied, so they have a chance to learn new skills. Now, did I mention that Nico was a baritone? Now, even though Nico is a little bit older, he is actually bigger because males tend to be almost twice as big as females. And now, as we're wrapping up training, we get to what I like to call pin-a-pet popsicles. They get all the ice that was in their buckets, soaking in all that fish juice. So imagine you're working on some hard math homework, And when you finish, as a reward, you get to choose your favorite flavor popsicle. If you're a sea lion, that would be herring or camelid flavor. And I like to point out that they'll eat about half the ice that was in their buckets and then switch to check out what's in everybody else's bucket. So if you've ever had dogs at home and had more than one dog and had to kind of keep track of who's eating out of which bowl to make sure they didn't sample each other's diets, exact same behavior. So these guys are pinnipeds. They're related to canids, dogs, and also our wolves. And felids are big cats, and ursids are polar bears. Those animals